What is going on, guys? Predator458 here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to World of Warships, where today we are going to be taking a look at a viewer replay that was submitted to me by Bane of Ulster. He is in a division with Stuff Rules, who we've seen plenty of replays from, and someone else called Funk Balls. And the three of them are on Land of Fire. Bane of Ulster is in his Tier 7 Soviet or Russian destroyer, the Kiev. And I actually had to have a little laugh when he sent this in, because a few hours before he sent this, he had sent another one in the Königsberg, I believe it was. And when he sent this one in, he was in the subject was like, oh my god, forget the other one. This is the one you have to use. Well, guess what? I can use both of them. So the Königsberg one will be shown at some point, possibly already or after this one. As I've said in some of the other videos, I'm currently spending Christmas, the Christmas period with my family, so I'm uploading as many videos as possible before I leave. This is one of them. The Königsberg will be another, but I'm not sure exactly when each of them is going to go live at this point. But anyways, Bane of Ulster, Stuff Rules, get hold of your friend Funk Balls and get him to start sending in replays as well. And anyone watching this, start sending them in. These guys are getting a little monopoly here on my channel. But anyway, so the Kiev steaming along at just shy of 45 knots towards the A point. Stuff Rules is behind him, also in a Kiev. And let's quickly go over the teams. They've got Nagato, New Mexico, 2 New Yorks. The enemy team's got 2 Nagatos, a Fuso, and a Congo. Enemy team's definitely got the battleship advantage. And first target is a Cleveland. But Bane of Ulster's team got the destroyer advantage, and cruisers, they have a tier 7 and 6. The enemy team has 3 6s and 3 5s. So the enemy team's also kind of got a cruiser advantage, I'd say, although they don't have any tier 7s. So the Kiev has made it into the A capture zone and has started to cap the point. However, that Cleveland is perilously close at 7.3 kilometers, but he has taken a fairly sizable hit from a battleship. And now Bane of Ulster is going to pop around and fire off his torpedoes. What's the range of these? Does it tell me? No, it doesn't tell me. Always forget what the range is on these torpedoes. 4 hits and a fire. So started off fairly well, but the Cleveland is looking right at him. But he has popped smoke and he is sitting still in the smoke right now. So he is not currently detected, and he's just going to keep putting the shells into this poor Cleveland, who's trying to blind fire or fire at the location he can see the shots coming from. Manages to get some hits and sets Bane of Ulster on fire, and now someone else is firing at him. He's lost 5,000 health. More shots going in, those all missing, unfortunately. No joy on any of those torpedo hits. Each team has lost 1 ship. Bane of Ulster's team has lost a tier 5 Nicholas. Enemy team has lost a tier 5 Furutaka. But it seems like the guy who was sunk was torpedoed by his own team. He was torpedoed by the Omaha. Shots going into the Cleveland. 18 hits, and he gets the kill. And that is his first kill of the match. And here we got a Congo at 12. So we're going to start putting some long-range, high-explosive fire into this enemy battleship. Because of that Cleveland and that sort of thing, they still haven't captured A, but they are capturing it as we speak. But someone's taking hits, I'm guessing. But shots going in, not doing a whole lot of damage, but we're hoping for those fires. And I mean, with a reload rate of 4.5 seconds, it's just a never-ending stream of shells going towards this poor Japanese battleship. Some of his guns unfortunately hitting the mountain there, but they have now finally captured the A point. He has unfortunately been detected, but he's got a good number of hits on this Congo, just trying to keep that streak going. At 15, unfortunately it goes away at 15. Always like trying to see how high I can get that, and I'm sure a lot of other people do as well. Little mini game. But there we go, he gets another few hits and sets the Congo on fire. And I believe he was on fire earlier. I may be mistaken, but I believe he was on fire earlier and had to use his damage control team to put the fire out. So hopefully it's now going to burn for a little while. Unfortunately, there's only the one fire. Incoming shells from the Nagato. Manages to land a hit for about 2,000 odd damage, just under. So Bane of Ulster is currently moving away at high speed, just continuing to pour down these high explosive shells onto the battleship. Fortunately, aim is a little off, or RNG is a bit off now, but here comes Funk Balls. 6 hits, and someone has set the Nagato on fire. Shells coming in from the Congo, probably at his division mate in the Nagato. 17 hits. Congo, the fire is out. Another hit there. Just waiting to see what happens now. Stuff rules. You can see him just on the right side of A. Looks like he's currently engaging Königsberg. And he's just keeping those guns firing as quickly as possible, trying desperately to get another fire on the Nagato, but it's already got 92 hits, so I mean it's pretty epic. And there we go, Stuff Rules has managed to destroy the Königsberg. So things are looking quite good. They have 2 more ships than the enemy, and one of their losses was from friendly fire. And he looks like he's going behind the mountains, so he's going to lose line of sight and he's not going to be able to fire anymore. But with the top speed, and he's now used his speed boost, so he's going 48 knots. He's going to very quickly clear the island, and he can once again try to render assistance to Funk Balls, who is now... so he's going to get rammed. Yes, they ram each other and take each other out of the match. So now it is onto this Congo, and the enemy team very briefly was down to a mere 95 points, which is quite funny. So fortunately those shells all missing. You can see, I mean, it still takes them nearly 8 seconds to reach the target at this range, so not necessarily the easiest to get on target, but you can fire so ridiculously quickly it doesn't really matter. But there we go, he gets a fire on the Congo. Is he going to let it burn? He's going to put it out. It looks like he's letting it burn for time being. His guns, front guns at least, are pointing directly at Bane of Ulster, and here come the shots. But at 12 kilometers, he's going to have to be very lucky to hit that shot. And just continuing to pour fire into this Seaman rookie in his Congo. No one's captured B yet. The enemy, and unfortunately the pesky island gets in the way. The enemy has started to capture C and will capture it soon. But B is kind of being, for the most part, left alone. There is a cruiser heading towards it. And there's another fire, so now he's got 2 full salvo coming in from the Congo. I think he just turned away to avoid it, and indeed all of the Congo shells miss. But the second fire has gone out by itself, and there's the other fire that's gone out. But he set him on fire again. And that goes out immediately, so he's obviously using his damage control team. Congo's now, and there's another fire, but turning his guns. I'm guessing he's focusing on the battleship that is on Bane of Ulster's port side. But he's just going to keep pummeling this poor battleship, who really cannot do anything about this. He can't close the distance. He's going to have to be extremely lucky to land any shots on Bane of Ulster. And he can't catch him, because even though the Congo is a fast battleship, it cannot do 38 knots. So Fuso and a Nicholas, these now have Bane of Ulster's attention. Nicholas first, presumably, going to start firing. And how do those shells do? Manages to get 2 hits. Nicholas does have a little bit more health than he does. But he takes out torpedo tubes, another 5 hits. Very soon he will... and he has destroyed the Congo and gets himself arsonist. That's his second kill of the match. Nicholas is maneuvering wildly, dodging some of his shots. Bane of Ulster is also making sure he doesn't travel in a straight line for too long. And he's certainly finding his mark a lot better than the Nicholas is. I mean, this isn't easy, 2 destroyers going at it like this. Critical hit takes out his engine, so this will make things easier if he doesn't repair it right away, which it does not look like he has. So this guy is going to be losing speed very, very quickly. He's popped his smoke to try and hide himself, but without an engine there's not really a whole lot of other places he can be. Weird bit of shooting there, and his engine unfortunately gets taken out. Possibly that bug that was mentioned in the New Mexico replay of Crud. Was it Crudbuster or Crudbasher? I always get confused. Where he did something similar happen to him. But I mean, he took very little damage from that Nicholas. But here's a different story. An Aoba at 6 kilometers. Little bit of a replay bug there. It looked like the Aoba was reversing for a second when Bane of Ulster started firing. Gets 2 Citadel hits. He has switched over to armor piercing, which is not something you see a lot of destroyers do, but I guess Bane of Ulster is well aware of the capabilities of his guns, and he's already proved it by getting some Citadels on this Aoba. Turning away, dodging his shots. Nicholas is down to 248 health. Is he going to take the shots and finish him off? Shells on the way. Do they find their mark? And no, that salvo unfortunately doesn't. Someone else hits him, but no damage done. Blind firing, as he cannot see the target anymore, but he has... I believe he popped his smoke. I missed that, but does look like he's sitting in a cloud of smoke right now. And also he's not detected while firing, so that's a good indication that he is indeed smoking up the place. Nicholas is still alive, so props to that guy. Surviving on 250 health. Just waiting on his torpedoes. Hoping that perhaps Stuff Rules will spot him, who hasn't taken a whole lot of damage, must be said. There's the Aoba traveling away. Possibly another replay bug, or he predicted that perfectly. One of the two. Gets some hits in, minor damage. He switched back to high explosive. Another 2 hits, no damage. There's another Nagato who is at pretty much full health. Fuso. Silver War Panda at 11.8 kilometers. Mutsuki at 8 on 4,000 health. 2,000 now. So I think he's going to come around this island and try and finish off this Japanese destroyer. Shots on the way. Manages to get a hit, set him on fire. He's on 25 health, and he gets the kill. That's his third of the match. So here we have a Fuso. 25,900 hit points remaining. Shots on the way. Gets a couple of hits, minor damage. But again, it's not the alpha damage we're looking for. It's those sweet, sweet fires. Fuso is definitely paying attention to him. All of those big 14-inch guns are squarely trained at this little destroyer. And here comes a salvo. And Bane of Ulster is able to avoid everything like a boss. Stuff Rules, unfortunately, has been destroyed. He says in chat he's bad against torps, so I'm guessing he was torpedoed. Sneaking past the island, very, very close to running into it. But it's 3 versus 3. 2 battleships and a destroyer versus 2 battleships and a cruiser. So a very close match. His team is in the lead by 170 odd points, just because they had they captured things so much earlier than the enemy team did. But I mean, they've both got 1 point now each. This Nagato looks like he's going to soon be capturing or starting the capture on B point. 5 minutes left in this match. There's that Aoba, something that definitely needs to go very quickly, because battleship guns, those are a lot easier to dodge than something like an Aoba's guns. Although it could be worse, it could be a Cleveland. But he's putting shots in, misses the second salvo, did get a few hits with the first. Another hit there, but unfortunately no serious damage, no fire, which is what we're really looking for. Loses sight of the Aoba. Here comes a New Mexico. Their other battleship is a New York, who seems to be in no position to be useful at all, which is nice. Firing more salvos over the hill, getting a few hits there, 300 damage done. Is now detected again, just trying to keep resetting this cap. Another replay bug. Seem to be a lot of them recently. 5 hits and a fire on the Nagato, switching target to the Aoba. Gets incapacitation, but he has been hit and set on fire, so he's going to use his damage control team to put that out immediately. He's on 2,600 health. Incoming fire from the Aoba. Thankfully, none of them find their mark. He is currently reversing down to 1,200 health. No, I thought I saw incoming shells, but he's going to now focus again on the Nagato. He set him on fire again with another 6 hits. Nagato seems to be turning his focus now to the battleship. He gets a 3rd fire, so those things are really going to start chewing up his health now for a little bit, unless he puts them out, which he hasn't yet. And he's just firing at the Fuso, then switching back to the Nagato. Is he going to continue that, or is he going to focus on the Nagato for a little bit longer? Fortunately, all the fires are now out, so we've got to do it all over again. Sitting in his smoke again, so they cannot see him. Sets the Nagato on fire. Some guy in chat says, you do realize you have torps, right? Who's that? He was in the Omaha. Yeah, the guy who team killed is now schooling Bane of Ulster that he has torpedoes. Gets high caliber. And there we go, stuff rules. They have 4 kilometer torp. So yeah, you definitely actually don't want to use them, because being on 1,200 health, even the secondaries will finish him off fairly quickly. And to use those torpedoes, he will have to get into secondary range, which is a very, very bad thing at this point. So Fuso, well, he's going to be within secondary battery range soon. I'm going to start firing on this guy. 3 hits and a fire. This guy's on less than 5,000 health. And there his secondaries start opening up. Sounded like he took a hit there. Fuso is down, but no damage done, if that was indeed a hit. So it's now back to the Nagato. It's now 3 versus 1. And the Nagato is a very good battleship. And if it was just him versus a New York and New Mexico, he might actually stand a chance. But with a destroyer in the mix, that's going to make things very different. 11 hits, 12 hits now. He's on fire again. Just continuing to put in shells. This guy's on now 25,000 health. He gets himself the Witherer badge as well, so that's Arsonist, High Caliber, and Witherer. Another fire, and unfortunately he's used his damage control team, so both fires went out pretty much instantly. New York has used his repair party and built some health back up. 10 seconds remaining, unfortunately. Not quite enough time to get the kill. And that is it. That is the end of the match. And as you can see, a pretty epic victory with lots of lovely ribbons and medals. He earned himself 250,000 credits, 4,770 reputation, high caliber arsonist and witherer, 397 target hits, so just shy of 400. So unfortunate. 7 incapacitations, 3 kills, 17 fires, 2 citadels, defended a base 22 times, captured a base once, and assisted in base capture once. No surprise, he came first place on the team. 3,180 base XP, so twice as much as the Nuremberg in second place. Enemy team Fuso came first with a base XP of 1335. As for damage done, 13,200 armor piercing damage, 75,800 high explosive damage, and call it 62,300 from fires, giving him a total of 151,365 damage, which is pretty epic. Bane of Ulster, well done, sir. That was an incredibly exciting match to watch. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did too. But anyways, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed, feel free to hit the thumbs up button down below and consider subscribing for more World of Warships, as well as Armored Warfare and a few other things I throw into the mix from time to time. But yeah, anyways, that is it from me. Thank you very much for stopping by. This is Predator 458 signing off, and I will see you guys next time.